The world of modern architecture and furniture is filled with designers who have impeccable eyes for form and function. Decades ago, there was an artistic husband and wife team who made a huge mark on the world of design. Their creations are as cool today as they were 60 years ago. They proved that the couple that designs together shines together. You've seen their work. Most likely, they're Eames chairs. And while the dazzling husband and wife team Charles and Ray Eames are best known for their furniture, their reach extended far beyond household items.
Charles and Ray Eames are perhaps the most preeminent American designers of the 20th century. Their perspective and their arena of activity was really, really broad. So even listing out areas like furniture and film and exhibit design and publications still probably doesn't get to the areas that they got into, like typography and graphic design.
At the Henry Ford Museum, the Eames display is the setting for our conversation with Chief Curator Mark Gruther. What were their backgrounds?
Interesting backgrounds. She had training as a painter and sculptor, so very kind of creatively angled. And Charles more architectural. So they've both been in a kind of creative arena.
How did their outlooks, their talents, maybe their dispositions complement each other?
Actually, very, very well. Charles was much more outgoing. His background with being architecture, he typically approached chairs and furniture as if it was small-scale architecture. Charles. Ray had an amazing kind of color memory and color sense. Ray could come at it from the standpoint of the materials that were being used and the finishes, and there was a very, very close alignment. If you really start trying to disentangle what each one of them brought, there comes a point where you just cannot. They were worked very, very cohesively.
Which means it was a great partnership.
It was a great partnership.
The Eames were backed by a loyal group of creative designers at the Eames office in Venice, California. And their collective work elevated design consciousness in popular culture in a way that had never been seen before. They're designers, but what you're describing, there's nothing sort of effete or artistic in a cliched way about it. It's actually quite practical, what they're doing.
And I think Charles would appreciate that observation, because what it really came down to, it wasn't looking for something beautiful, it wasn't looking for something that was aesthetically pleasing as the aim, but almost inevitably the elegance of their solution would have that appeal.
They were problem solvers at heart, and they addressed mathematics and physics through installation art, exhibits, and even film. Like this familiar work called Powers of 10, examining the relative size of things in the universe.
Power of 10 is perhaps their best known film, and I think many people know it without really knowing it was theirs. It's a film that visually begins with a couple picnicking on grass in Chicago, and the camera gradually pulls away until the Earth is a mere speck in the center.
Yeah, I've seen that. There was even a kind of elegant symmetry in the way they left this Earth.
Charles dies August 21st, 1978.
And Ray dies?
10 years to the day, 1988.
Exactly 10
exactly 10 years to the day, yes.
Two unforgettable artists whose designs transformed our world and whose impact may forever transcend time.